So the largest TF2 LAN of the year has come to a close a few days ago. While closing, a very well-made outro was shown to bookend the competition. Before I go any further, I highly recommend anyone interested in competitive Team Fortress 2 to watch, due to the sheer emotion it shows. Now, unfortunately, due to the nature of Valve as a company, the future of TF2 is completely unknown, and even though the I-58 was incredibly well received by the community, peaking at around 7,000 viewers during the final, no one knows if that was enough to prove to Valve that the competitive Team Fortress 2 scene is something to invest in. Obviously, it comes down to money, and with Valve being a business, it has to turn a profit. However, it is completely possible that the general popularity of competitive Team Fortress 2 would increase significantly if given the right support. This is Valve we're talking about, so it would be impossible to get the right amount of support or communication for any of their games, ever. However, if there was more involvement in-game, then more would be introduced and interested. Now, Counter-Strike Global Offensive has esports cases, stickers, and special drops during the major competitive matches, and an overall atmosphere of respect towards the top competitive players. Even if TF2 had half or a fourth of the competitive support CSGO gets, that 7,000 view number would be much higher. Now, if Valve was watching the popularity of competitive after Meet Your Match to be able to gauge the community's interest, then we may be in trouble. The system was broken at launch, and to this day, the entire competitive game mode lacks features seen in every other modern competitive game. However, what is known is that the influential community members are starting to quit the game due to the lack of support or any kind of monetary gain they can get with sticking with it. And it seems as though the developers behind the game don't completely know what to do in regards to competitive. Now, I'm not saying Team Fortress needs an international or even a major. All it needs is more in-game support for competitive play. Allow people to be able to get to know the players in-game. Allow the people to be able to watch the games as they happen. And Valve could easily increase the interest of competitive almost immediately, making the idea of a Valve-sponsored LAN easier to swallow from a business standpoint. All we know is that the Team Fortress fanbase is incredibly dedicated and passionate, and if the Counter-Strike Global Offensive communities have reasons to be upset, and believe me, they very much do, then imagine where the TF fans are coming from. It just seems that the Team Fortress team are trying to make it seem as though they care more than they actually can. Posting major community events in the blog or shouting out large fan projects. Hell, even a few days ago, the blog featured Season 25 of the European TF2 League. And for those who don't know, signups are going on until the 3rd of September, and Valve showing it off on the 31st is a nice amount of time to be able to have it be known. Although it is unknown to what extent Valve cares about the European TF2 League, or any TF2 League at that matter. Now, just know that I fully support it, and anyone interested in the competitive scene should check out the ETF2 League website down in the description below for more information on Season 25. Now, on August 29th, an update did release to Team Fortress that fixed a few long-term bugs, such as the short circuits lag or the Cowmangler's reload speed, along with the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol's shading, and the highest ranking players in both competitive and casual not appearing to be rank 1 anymore. Now, this is along with a few bug fixes to Man vs. Machine, an odd appearance with what seems to be the current TF team's focus. Now, speculation. This may be pointing towards a future Man vs. Machine update coming somewhat soon, and I'm seeing a lot of community members speculate very similarly because of these bug fixes. However, signs of a future Man vs. Machine update have been around for almost 2 years now. So whether or not the TF team actually still does care about Man vs. Machine is completely up in the air, but seeing them fix bugs out of nowhere is a very good sign. Also added in this update were medals for this year's Tip of the Hats, and for those unaware, Tip of the Hats is a yearly charity event hosted by the Team Fortress community and includes many popular members of the community itself playing and interacting with all of you. Now, this year the event goes from the 16th to the 18th of September, and there will be everything that you want to see. MGE, surfing, rocket jump races, a 6v6 North American versus European competition, along with pub matches where the community gets to play with the big guys. Now, all of this is to feature popular community and competitive members such as Truck, Mela, Tag, along with many more. Now, right now, you can currently donate items through scrap.tf on the Tip of the Hat's websites, and cash donations will be opened up on September 9th. Realize, all monetary proceeds donated to Tip of the Hats will go to the Children's Oncology Services charity, and there are rewards given out to donators. There are actually 3 different reward tiers given out, being at $10, $30, and $100 of donations, each receiving a specific in-game medal. Now please note, anybody that donates $100 does not get the $30 or $10 rewards, and anybody that donates $30 does not get the $10 rewards. You really can't always trust Valve to follow what they say either. We have had the term Valve time for a reason, and this was recently exemplified when the Team Fortress 2 comic issue 5 became a year old, with no following issue. Now remember, the Team Fortress comics were initially announced as being bi-monthly, and issue 6 was supposed to be out in a shorter span of time than the amount of time we waited for 5, and now it's been over a year. And now the main comic artist has spoken out. Valve comic artist Heather Campbell, one of the main contributors to the TF Comics series, posted on her Tumblr that, quote, "I am sad we didn't hit the 1-year mark, but releasing sooner would have required not contributing to other projects for TF, Dota, or VR. The best news I can tell you is that this comic is proper, worth your weight size. Issue 5 was 36 pages, while issue 6 is currently 61, and when completed, it will be around 70 pages. Obviously, the massive delay of the TF Comics is not the fault of any one person, and I have nothing bad to say about McCanny's work. I love the work she's done, and I sure think she's working her ass off right now. Obviously, the fault is much more complicated, being exactly how Valve operates. However, I'm not going to get into this right now. That is a huge issue for a much larger video. Recently, it was found that hidden within the files updated during Meet Your Match, some unused textures exist, being new variations of the competitive doors you see in the beginning of a match, along with alternate Team Fortress 2 logos using the competitive logo. Now, it is unknown whether these were cut or if these are plans to be in a future update. Now, these were found alongside some Frontline props that were not seen within any of the supply drops that we've currently gotten from Frontline until now. As earlier on September 2nd, an update was released to the Frontline supply drop, reducing the file size and still adding an additional 157 assets. Now, I've said it before, and I'm definitely gonna say it again, Frontline is my favorite community Team Fortress 2 project that exists currently, and I hope that Valve both uses the team and content that exists here and allows the main developers to add what they feel is necessary to create an amazing update. We do not need another end of the line or invasion situation. But anyways, that was everything that has happened over the last week regarding Team Fortress 2 that I feel is necessary to report on. Thank you very much for everybody that's watching, and even though I seem to be going incredibly hard on Valve, just realize it's because we're all so frustrated with what's going on right now. We've seen Valve do incredible things. We've seen Valve do much better work, and we're all just kind of confused on what exactly is going on. I hope Team Fortress 2 still has a future, and I really hope that I-58 was not the last major LAN. However, we are losing a lot of competitive players, and I don't know, we'll just see what the future holds. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Untitled McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Have a good day. Adios.